Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the DMD Sports Podcast. The first D stands for me, Drew,
The M stands for me, Matt.
And the last D is for Dan, the Man.
and we got Dan this week. How are you boys doing today?
Pretty good.
That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
so
But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into things here because we want to talk some football. And this, honestly, I think in general has been the best week of football in a very, very long time.
Ooh, are you just talking about this season, or are you talking about in general?
In general, like this
Wow.
week was crazy, absolutely crazy.
weird.
I think definitely the best this season, but going forward, well, I guess looking back rather, I'd say the best in a while. But let's go ahead and start with the Thursday night game, which was surprisingly entertaining. We had the Chargers and the Raiders. Raiders came out on top in that one. For me, my big issue was that I can't get over was that final drive. Yes, I understand there was about a minute left on the clock, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, the Chargers had three timeouts. You
Yep.
only need a field goal to win. Why
Yep.
are you bombing it down the
Yeah,
field? Why aren't you at least, hey, we can call a running play or two because we got the
it's Rivers.
timeouts?
It's Rivers. He gets nervous.
But still, it's even then with the play calling, it's like you got to be a little more conservative.
I don't think it was. That was definitely on Anthony Lynn or the offensive coordinator, Ken Weisenhunt, or because I'm pretty sure he was fired after this game.
I mean, what I don't get is Melvin Gordon is back to his old ways. Did he just not have trust that Melvin Gordon could pull off the amount of yardages they needed with the amount of timeouts they had to get close to a field goal, or did they just want to surprise him by chucking it every play? I was actually really frustrated with that game. I was really frustrated. I was really rooting for the Chargers. I think it should be opposite. I think the Chargers should be 5-4, not 4-5, and I think the Raiders should
Four
be
and
four and
six.
five, 5-4. Oh, 4-6,
I
even worse.
I don't know. I think the Raiders have been playing really good football. Their defense is a little but they're winning with a formula of keeping it in the trenches, which against a lot of teams, that's a really good formula.
Yeah, because that's the thing with the game is those battles really are won in the trenches. If you can win, in regards to your O line and your D line with creating pressure and stopping the run, you're probably going to win that game,
Exactly.
unless you're
And the
utterly
Raiders
incompetent.
right. And the Raiders O line has come back to, I'd argue, its 2016 form, where it was really good at protecting Derek Carr, and that's how Latavius Murray had a great season, was behind a really stout O line. The Raiders haven't had a bad team; it had some bad coaching, and then Gruden, as much as you want to give flack to, he's turned the team around.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood if you're with me, you know.
Right.
But no, Gruden really has, and I really think the controversy, well, not controversy, but the whole shit show with AB, to put it in a much better tone, has really probably like inspired the team. That first Monday Night Football game, you had the whole crowd chanting "fuck AB" at one point.
Right. Well,
They're moving on. They're showing, hey, we can do this without him, and I think
mm-hmm.
Gruden is the guy for a team. We saw in Hard Knocks how great of a guy he is. He's really fun to watch. I really enjoy it.
I don't think he's a bad coach by any means.
No,
I
not
think
at
he
all.
wasn't given a fair shake because you're taking that first season, right, and you're seeing, oh, he was paid 10 years, $100 million, and the Raiders were still terrible. Now look at them now. They look
Yeah.
pretty good when they have a running back and some better defensive pieces. And the other thing I wanted to point out was this game was lost by Rivers, I'd argue, more than anything, due to
Yeah,
the fact that he was just so mistake
3
prone.
interceptions.
Exactly.
Yes,
No, it should have been more. He had
and one of
like should have been like 5 picks. I think he had two of them. They were two
yeah,
of the picks were called back
yeah,
because of penalties.
yep. And then one of the touchdowns that was, the Raiders got, it was from their defensive line, and it's just very upsetting because I felt as if the Chargers had someone who wasn't as prone to just messing up as Rivers is, because Rivers really, in my eyes, that game was so prone to just messing up, just throwing interceptions, just looking so antsy out there. It's just very upsetting because like their O line, I mean, the Chargers, my opinion, has one of the best looking O lines. I mean, they're not the best,
What?
but
Really?
Are you
My
nuts?
opinion, the amount of talent that they have, I love the Chargers team with the talent that they have.
Their O line is awful, and
Oh,
that's
no,
probably
no, no,
why
no.
Rivers
I'm
is
not talking
so
about
amazing.
their O line to protect Rivers. I'm talking about just their offensive players in general. I just think
Uh,
they're full of wonderful, talented, dudes on there, and it's just upsetting because I feel as if they had like an Aaron Rodgers behind that O line, this team would be 7-2, 8-1, same as what the Packers.
Okay, so you keep saying O line because that okay, so O line's the offensive line. That's the thing that protects. You're talking about the offense, the weapon.
Yes.
Okay, because you're saying O line, and
Oh
that's
no,
throwing
no,
me off because the
yeah.
Chargers O line is absolutely terrible, and not even Aaron Rodgers, I feel like, could play behind that.
No, I
and
mean,
and the crazy thing too is with Rivers, it's you have that less than par O line. Why are you trying to take deep shots down at the end of the game? You know,
You
like
you
unless you
know
have Tyreek Hill or someone incredibly fast, it's probably not going to happen all that much. But the story with this, with this game, I think has been the story for the Chargers this season that they are underachieving, that
yeah.
they squander away opportunities, and this was a prime example of how they squandered away opportunities.
And the other problem with this, with that last drive that you keep pointing out, is that not only did they throw it, they literally only targeted Keenan Allen.
his
Yeah,
eyes closed when he threw the ball. I
I
mean,
noticed that. Yeah, there was one play where it was the interception, I think, where he just like I
yeah,
I
that
I
was
I
the last.
understand body reflex, like like involuntary reflexes where it's like, oh, someone's coming right at me, I'm probably gonna close my eyes and flinch. He just, oof, that was bad though. It was
Yeah,
rough to watch, and it
but
was I don't know, because like I'm not a Chargers fan by any means, but when I still see boneheaded decisions, it still makes me angry. It's like, what are you doing? You know.
yeah,
But I'm good to move on if you guys are, just to kind of
Yeah,
yeah,
keep
we
it
can move on.
going.
yeah, I got
Um,
nothing else.
cool. So up next we have the Giants playing the Jets in the Meadowlands. A little bit of a tank bowl there. Jets came out on top, 34-27. Saquon Barkley is injured again, and Daniel
I
Jones
just want
is
to say,
not the Messiah like everyone thought he was.
no, 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 no. Daniel Jones is the Messiah. Threw 4 touchdowns, 308 yards. The dude played his fucking heart out.
He
I don't care
literally
anybody.
had the ball stolen by a Jets D lineman, literally ripped
No,
straight out of his
Jamal
hands,
Adams.
and oh, it was Adams.
It was Adams, and
Okay,
oh
my
my
bad.
God, that was an
Oh,
amazing
He
defensive
ripped
play.
it straight out of his
well,
hand and
well,
just ran it back for a touchdown. That's the problem with Jones is okay, maybe he's not throwing interceptions, maybe he
Ball
did make some good
security.
reads. Yeah, exactly. He just can't hold on to the football and he's fumbling. That's the
that's
problem.
also that should also be putting blame on the O line.
To an extent,
To a
I mean,
degree, but you
if you're
you have to
going
be
to
able
get
to go
hit,
ahead. Go
if you're
ahead.
going to expect getting hit, you have to hold on to that ball. The way that that ball was taken from him, it was effortless. Jamal Adams literally went up to him and took it and ran.
yeah, I know. But at the same time, it's just Daniel Jones didn't do as bad as the last what 2, 3 games. I mean, he really put on a show. Besides a couple of mishaps like that, I mean, who's to say he could have thrown another interception and we probably wouldn't talk about it as bad as the ball getting ripped out of his hands. He did a good job compared to Darnold. He did a way better job.
If you're just going off of touchdowns, sure, but
Going
the
going off of I'm going off of performance as a quarterback.
I mean, to be fair, here's the thing though. This was a one possession game. That strip sack, not even a strip sack, just that strip, that handing the ball over him, he went full Bernie Sanders. Was like, you guys could probably use some points right now. Here you go. We'll distribute the points evenly. You know, he just that's the game right there. If that didn't happen, we could have been looking at a radically different game
yeah,
because it was only a six. It literally was a 7 point difference. That was a touchdown right there. Granted, you have to make the extra point, but still, you
Yeah.
literally handed them 6 points. Literally.
I mean, I'm from New York, so this game was fun to watch. But at the end of the day, I think the Jets just had a better defense, and
Yeah.
it just it just shown. I mean, I think offensively, I think Daniel Jones did a good job, but I mean, the Giants are a shithole right now. 2-8. I mean, I'm
I mean,
sure
both
if
teams are. The Jets are 2-7. You know.
The only New York team that's good is Buffalo.
yeah,
Yeah.
the only team that actually plays in New York.
Exactly.
Um,
The
but we
crazy thing too, I want to mention Saquon Barkley, 13 carries for 1 yard.
Yeah, the Jets were. This was a game where both teams literally were not afraid of anybody in the passing. It was
No.
literally a game where it was like, all right, these are really good running backs. Let's shut them down, make them beat us in the air.
Yeah. Now Golden Tate went off, 95 yards on 4 receptions, caught two
well,
touchdowns. You know, Golden Tate went off, but still at the same time, it's yeah. This was a rough one for the Giants. I feel, you know, especially
Mm.
with those costly turnovers.
And especially with the fact that Sam Darnold's been playing so bad that you thought you could maybe get another win in there before against a weaker team that you at least thought was weaker, but apparently not. The Jets pulled it out.
Yeah. And it's kind of like games like these where it's not necessarily, oh, the tank. It's more, we're playing for our jobs right now. You know, we've already
Jobs.
established that we're going to fit. Because here's the thing. No, not everyone needs the number one pick to get Tua. You know,
No.
not everyone does. If you can secure a very good draft position, but
Top 10.
still, like, show you have potential, I guess that's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm good to move on if you guys are.
Yeah, I'm good.
let's talk about the upset.
Yeah, so Falcons, Saints, the Falcons finally they achieved their potential. The Saints laid an egg in front of their home crowd. That
Julio
was
Jones still without a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm aware. So as someone who actually watched the game,
yeah, go ahead, Matt, you got the
in
floor.
short, the Falcons came to play football, and the Saints just didn't show up. Um, it looked promising in the on the first drive of the game, and then we got into the red zone. Kamara was the target. He was going up against Deion Jones, and he just missed his footing. And from that point forward, when we had to kick that field goal, we just could never establish offensive momentum. Now, offensively, Breeze got sacked 6 times. One, the O line just couldn't wake up, and then Andrews Pete broke his arm, so that made us have to put in Will Clapp, which that didn't help any, and it really hurt. Um, let's see, we couldn't get a running game going because we had to start playing from behind. The only offensive player that was catching anything was Jared Cook and Michael Thomas. Now to talk about the defense, on the first drive for the Falcons, it was a 17 play drive because the Saints had 4 hands to the face penalties on that one drive.
Yeah,
Then
you can't
Marshawn
have
Lattimore
that.
went. No, you can't. Then Marshawn Lattimore went down. So Marshawn had Julio blanked. He had 3 targets, 0 catches, 0 yards. And then Marshawn goes down, and immediately he's going up against Eli Apple and PJ Williams. Now Eli, he did what he could, but PJ, who's the slot corner, and when Julio lines up in the slot, he's meeting up against PJ. PJ allowed a 56-yard touchdown reception, or not touchdown reception, just a 56-yard reception, deep bomb, and
And
it gave the Falcons that next touchdown to put them at 20-9, and that's all she wrote. We could never establish something. Penalties
and
killed us, offensive ineptitude. It was just not a good game for the Saints.
Yeah,
That's
especially that
why
fourth quarter, you know, because the Falcons ran away with it.
exactly. And the thing is, while people were very up in arms and everything, I'm sitting there like, well, we have one of these, and it's usually against a division opponent. Now it sucks that it's against the Falcons, but again, the Falcons' offense, it's a it's the best passing offense in the NFL. Number two, it's I believe the 16th ranked rushing offense. Their offense has not been the problem for them; it's their defense. It just showed up to play.
their offense in the red zone's usually pretty trash. So I'm surprised that they actually did get points when they got down to the red zone for the
It,
Falcons.
just one of them. Not it hasn't been trash though. They've been putting up
They've
points.
had no, they're having a lot of issues once they get into the red zone. They have Matt Ryan and the red zone for some reason is not a good match. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens to him, but I mean, just look at all these other games. I mean, there's a reason why they're 2-7.
Their defense.
Their O line.
And their O line. It's been their defense and their O line. So yeah, in the red zone it would make sense, but they're still a high scoring offensive team.
And give or take. But didn't they take Drew Brees out at the end also?
No. Drew played the
I
full
could have
game.
sworn. Didn't Taysom Hill play?
He
He
played the
did.
full game.
I could have sworn Hill played, but
Yeah, Hill played.
I mean,
I don't.
Hill,
He
no,
he had
Hill
one
played.
passing play.
Yeah, Hill's not. When Hill goes in, Drew's just on the sideline. He ain't taken out of the game. He's just. It's a playoff.
Yeah.
It's an option.
yeah. But I'm sorry for your loss, Matt. I
You
wish.
know, I'm kind of glad it happened now because we're at the point of the season where, you know, we're right now in a 4 game divisional gauntlet. We have the Buccaneers coming up, we have the Panthers, and then we have the Falcons one more time. And then right after that, we have the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm really glad that we got punched in the mouth by a divisional opponent because what that's going to allow is I'm hoping for Sean to get a fire underneath him and to rally this team up because right now Andrews Pete has a broken arm. He's as rough of a guard as he is. He's a very big part of our O line, and Marshawn Lattimore is week to week. And going against teams like Tampa Bay, that's kind of scary. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are good receivers, and we're out our top corner. So I'm hoping that this just kind of rallies the troops again. It was also after a bye week, so we were probably kind of rusty. Kamara hadn't been back for a few games. He looked off. This game was it was not the Saints' day, period. And
Yeah.
all credit to the Falcons. They came to play.
They did.
They played for their coach. And I 100% respect that.
Yeah, and he's on a week-to-week basis as it is, so still on the hot
He,
seat.
he is, but the Falcons, the team around him really likes Dan Quinn. So they played for him.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I get you. I'm cool to move on. I mean, unless Dan, you
Yeah.
have something to say, but because I didn't really watch this game, I saw the scores. I was like, holy shit, is this really happening?
I have Drew Brees in fantasy, so it was very upsetting. But yeah, we can move on.
Cool. All right, here's the game I am super excited to talk about. This is my number 2 favorite game of the week. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Oh my God, that ending. That ending, that ending, that ending. That was 2 minutes of football. The final 2 minutes, that was phenomenal. Just because it was what the hell is going on. You had that miscommunication with the snap where the holder just picked it up and threw it for the intentional grounding. And then I think right after that, the Titans had the ball again,
Mm-hmm.
and Tannehill, one hell of a drive. He looked great out there. Got the touchdown, got the 2-point conversion where they did the play action, did probably an option, I guess you could say. But he just ran it in, hit the dude head on. You could hear the helmets smack together, and he went for the end zone and he got in to take that 3-point lead. And then the Chiefs that blocked kick. I forget his name, but that was perfect timing on his end. That was not offsides where the edge guy got past because the NFL, like Al Riverian, you could say about him what you will, but I saw the video, but they pointed it out where he did not move until the long snapper moved the ball and started snapping it back. Perfect timing, and it got them the win, and it got Tennessee back to 500, perfectly balanced as all things should be, and they're the weirdest team in the NFL, I think, because they can come out and they can play some really good games against some good teams like this
I
week,
think
but they also lose to teams like Denver, you know.
Was that with Tannehill or Mariota?
Oh, that was with Mariota, yeah, where they had Tannehill back in. But this makes the AFC South that much more interesting, and it was a good game.
I stand with this statement, and I will stand on this hill with this statement. The thing that's been holding back the Tennessee Titans is Marcus Mariota.
And I think we're seeing that kind of now because I really think, like, especially last season, Mariota was injured. People were giving him, I don't know, I thought people were being a little too harsh, but the fact that he's benched now And what did he do? I mean, Tannehill went 13 for 19, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Do with that what you will, but he's still showing up. He's still winning games. He's putting together great drives.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need that clutch play, that clutch drive at the very end of the game to get the win, and that's what they had. And then
And
on
sometimes
top of it, go ahead.
And sometimes a quarterback just needs a change of scenery. Tannehill wasn't bad with the Dolphins. He wasn't
But it was
the
the Dolphins,
best,
you know.
but it's the Dolphins, and they haven't had that kind of a team. The Titans have some good pieces: Derrick Henry, Dion Lewis. They've got a decent O line. They've got Delaney Walker. They have Corey Davis, and then their defense has really good pieces too. It's a solid team. It's just been held back by quarterback ineptitude.
Yeah, and then on top of it too, Derrick Henry went off this game.
Yeah,
23
the
carries for 188 yards, averaging 8.2. Now, say what you will about the Kansas City run defense, but that's still impressive. He had
yeah
a 68-yard rushing touchdown, like something crazy at one point where he just found the hole and just kept going.
Yeah, the Chiefs have lost their. They had a few good weeks where they fixed that run defense, and they just fell apart against Henry.
Yeah. Props to Mahomes though, because he did go 36 for 50, threw for 446 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they still came up short. You know,
30. Whoa, he went 50 passes.
Yeah,
50 attempts. Yep.
50 attempt.
See, this one
How many
reminds me
rushing attempts did he have?
Mahomes 0.
No. I'm talking about in general. How many rushing attempts did the Chiefs have?
Oh God, let me hold on. 21, 23, 25.
Okay, so it's not terribly unbalanced.
No, but at the same time, well, that's literally a 2-to-1 ratio right there between passing and rushing attempts. Well,
It
if
it
you
is.
include that, play by the holder where he threw it away, if you include that as a passing attempt, which I'm not going to,
Mm-hmm.
um, but still, it's just I don't know. I understand Andy Reid loves the big plays and using his fast wide receivers, but
Mm-hmm.
you got to utilize the running game more, and I think with Williams you can do that. Now, Sammy Watkins had a couple rushing ones. That's the thing. It was like a couple of their wide receivers popped up, but you still have to have that rushing game. But here's the problem with the Chiefs. Like this game really reminded me of in respect to Mahomes. It reminded me of Brady's performance back in Super Bowl 52 against Philadelphia, where Brady had one of the greatest games of his career, but the defense couldn't do shit.
Yep.
That was the problem. And the thing with the Chiefs that's really going to kill them is they're 6-4 right now. If if you told me week 10 the Chiefs are going to be 6-4, I would not have believed you at all. You know, I would have asked did Mahomes get injured, which he did, and I think they went
They went 2-1.
2-1, something like that. 2-1.
1-2. No, he was
That's
only out for 2 games.
no, he was out for 3. No, well, actually, no. If actually he was out for 2 games, but if you
Yeah,
include when Moore came in against the Broncos, that
I
counts
don't
as a
count
win.
that.
Yeah, no. So they did. Okay, so they went
Mahomes
one and
was the
one. They
starter.
went 1-1. They went 1-1.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, it's not. The backup did his job, and the one game they lost was against Green Bay. But at the same time, the defense can't do anything. Like it's crazy how many people want. Like I've seen a couple of people say, "Hey, we should have like held on to Sutton." You know,
Mm-hmm.
which oof. But that was a game for the ages. I'm good to move on if you guys are. Dan, Dan, you really didn't talk much. Was there anything you wanted to say in regards to that game?
No, it's just unfortunate how their offense kind of reminds me of what I was trying to say about the Chargers. Their offense is just so nasty, but there's just nothing you can do when your defense and you're not running the ball. And there's just other factors. I mean, yeah, you can throw 446 yards, but you still got to run the ball. I mean,
Yeah, but the difference between the Chiefs and the Chargers is that you have Patrick Mahomes against Philip Rivers. You
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I mean,
we can move
I
on.
guess if you have a game where you throw less interceptions and you have kids, that's probably a good game. But in respect to Philip Rivers, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Um,
we might actually be able to skip this next game because it's the
Ravens,
Ravens versus the
Bengals. Yeah, Bengals
The
are an
Buckles.
internal factory of sadness. Still, I respect Lamar Jackson going out there with a perfect passing rating, but the two games he's had a perfect passing rating were against the Dolphins and the Bengals.
That's
You know, where
still. I
it's like
mean,
Bengals.
it's still
Still,
impressive, but I
the,
don't know. I don't know. If
no, it,
the
here's the thing. If I don't know.
Lamar Jackson had the most rushing yards. I want you to imagine that. Your quarterback.
that's very common
He
for the
did.
Ravens.
Yeah,
That's
well,
very
because
common
they
for
run
the
those
Ravens.
options.
A
I
lot.
still have the concern where okay, are like the Ravens have a good offense right now, but are they going to have still have that same good offense late December in January, you know?
Remember, the run game travels.
Yeah.
That does travel, and outside of Jackson, they do have Ingram and Gus
Yeah,
Edwards,
but
and
Lamar did double of what Ingram
that's just
done that
because
year.
that's because that is how they scheme Lamar. Now, come December, and again, this would fall on Harbaugh. If teams start figuring out that hey, Lamar is literally their offense, they're going to have to quickly figure out that we need to use these other guys and actually run the ball more with them than Lamar.
The key is shutting down the option. That's the key. If you can
The-
somehow stop the option, which is super difficult, you can stop the Ravens. It's literally what we
But
saw last year where they're going into fancy formations and they're confusing their, they're confusing opposing teams given those looks and they're pitching
but
options where Jackson's about to get killed, he tosses it to the running back to his right and then he
but
takes it
they had
15
that last
yards.
year too. But they had that
Yeah,
last
and
year
they got
too.
stopped. And they got stopped. That's what makes me
But
concerned with
no
the
one's been able
Ravens.
to stop it this year,
Well, so far.
despite having that film from last year.
It's a bit different from last year.
Is
Like
it?
a little with the formations they're using because Brett Coleman put out a phenomenal video last season where here's the thing, the Ravens weren't so heavy option last year. With the Ravens it was a lot more okay, we're going to use the same formation but every play was predetermined, as I like to say. They would just do like essentially the equivalent of play actions, except they would toss it to another guy or they would toss it immediately. That's how they confused it, and they relied on defensive players making mistakes. And the Chargers were able to show up last year and stop that, and I think that's going to be a similar case this time with the Ravens.
Mm,
I,
I,
I, I don't know if it's sustainable or not. That's my concern with
but
the Ravens.
the difference though is, and I would argue that one, Lamar was a rookie last year with
Yeah.
8 games of experience. He has improved as a passer compared to where he started.
Mhm.
At, and again, in December, the running game travels, and the Ravens have a good running game. Even without Lamar Jackson, the two running backs have still gotten yards.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, I'm not saying that. It's just their style of play right now with where they're heavily relying on options that concerns me. Like Harbaugh is a very good coach, I think, very smart. He'll be able to adjust accordingly.
He's one of the best coaches in the AFC.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he'll be able to adjust accordingly, but my question is how long is it sustainable and how long until they have to stop using those options? Because the second you stop using those options, I think they become a lot better to play against defensively, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Like, do you see where I'm kind of what you see what I'm kind of saying though?
I
Just
do.
because options really are built around mismatches and seeing where certain guys are going and
You're
who's about
right,
to get
and
killed.
you're right, and that was a big thing with the Rams last year.
Yeah. Um, but
They were letting
that's
those mismatches.
yeah. Anything to say, Dan, or
With this game, no, not really. I mean, it's just another shit show on the Bengals.
The
fair point.
Bunkles.
Um, Continuing with shit shows in the NFC North, not so much this or AFC North, excuse me, not so much this week though. Browns Bills came down to a field goal. Browns got the win.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, we're seeing the issue with the Bills where their defense, I think their defense hasn't been playing as good because I do think they got exposed the past couple of games, especially that one against Philadelphia and Miami a little bit. But the Bills' offense, Josh Allen needs to figure it out. He's still having some issues where he's just throwing up the ball and praying for the best. And
And
that's gonna
he went, he
that's gonna
went,
kill them. assuming they make the playoffs, they're going to get bounced in the first week because Josh Allen's going to throw it up, hoping for the best late in the fourth quarter and in possibly a close game, or if they're trying to make a comeback mid-game, and that's going to cause the game to get out of hand for them, and the other team's going to run away with it. That's the problem with the Bills.
Yeah, Josh Allen's the crux of that entire team, where their defense can play. Probably the defense could be the '85 Bears defense, but Josh Allen is he just makes too many errant throws.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the Browns were probably, well, they were better at just getting the ball downfield. I mean, it's weird to say that because it's the Bills defense, but I mean, just watching the game, the Browns, like I called that the Browns were gonna beat the Bills, and I felt like that, and I knew it wasn't gonna be like a high scoring game because it's the Bills. But I mean, I just felt like the Browns, after as you're right, they got exposed on their defense. I kind of felt like maybe other teams are going to take that into consideration. What's their fault and just capitalize on it. And Chubb did one hell of a game. Landry, Beckham. I mean, they all had decent. I mean, the Bills need to start working on that offense 100%.
Well, the Bills' biggest weakness on their defense has been against good running back.
Yeah. And
So
then,
it makes sense that Chubb had a good game.
yeah, not to mention they got Kareem Hunt back, the Browns do.
His blocking was phenomenal, and that allowed a lot of open holes for Chubb.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. He was
It
just
is.
blocking.
Yeah, if you can, like, because, I mean, Kareem Hunt's no fullback by any means, unless he's, running up and just kicking people in the face. But,
Right.
sorry, I had to. But with Kareem Hunt, like, here's the, if you can have an effective blocker in that fullback position, that creates so many things for you. Like, it's so good. Fullback is seriously the most underrated part of an offense. It's because it's being phased out, unfortunately.
And then with a player like Nick Chubb, who's just explosive, it that's that could help. I don't think it's going to vault the Browns into a playoff spot, but this could possibly start some kind of a turnaround.
So I'm gonna list off the remaining schedule for the Browns. So they got their home against the Steelers is tomorrow night. Um,
That's a
against the
crapshoot.
Dolphins, at the
Okay.
Steelers, home against the
Okay.
Bengals, on the road against the Cardinals, at home against the Ravens, on the road against the Browns. They could go, depending on how the Ravens are, if they're satisfied with their position, they could win. They could win out and go 10-6. I don't think it'll happen. They're probably going to go 9-7.
At, at
If they're able to
best,
sweep their division. But the Steelers have been showing up lately.
yeah, the Steelers' defense has been playing really good football. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah. But that's kind of how I feel with that. Dan, any closing remarks? Are you good, man?
I'm good on that game.
Cool. Cardinals, Bucks came down to the very end where the Cardinals got absolutely screwed on a PI that should have been called.
Isn't
I'm
that
just,
the second time this season
I don't know. Maybe for the Cardinals,
for
I don't know.
for the Cardinals? Yeah, I recall this happening. What was the game? I can't remember. I recall it happening though for the Cardinals, and the Cardinals could have gone on a 4-game win streak because of it. I can't remember,
Let me check their schedule.
but a couple things to note. Buccaneers defense is still god awful, except for the run defense. The run defense is still solid, and they fired Vernon Hargreaves.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I missed
they
that
dropped
one.
him. So their most experienced corner is now a second-year player.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, if he can fill those shoes, and roll with it, it works.
I mean, all they have to do is go up a rank from the 31st ranked passing defense to the 30th, and that's an improvement.
Definitely. Sorry, I had to beat my mic real quick. Um,
You're good.
but yeah, with the Bucks though, I think that we kind of saw this again. Winston went 30 for 48, 358 yards. Certainly impressive. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions though. Those turnovers are what kill the Bucks, and I think if Winston, wasn't throwing those interceptions, they're probably a 500 team, maybe a little better.
I think. I think with a better quarterback, they're a 500 team. I don't think they're a playoff team because that passing defense is atrocious.
And then not to mention also how like top heavy the NFC is.
Well, exactly. And
Like
again,
like the only chance, like if you're gonna go 9-7, 10-6, if you're gonna try and get in the playoffs that way in the NFC, your only chance is to be in the East. That's it. If you're in any other division, you're probably not gonna get into the playoffs at 10-6 or 9-7.
right, 9-7. 10-6 should
Yeah,
get
nine
you
and
in.
seven.
There will
Yeah,
probably be a 10-16 that misses.
probably, and it's gonna be because of a tiebreaker because they're tied with another team. But you see what I'm
Yep.
saying though.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. The NFC is very top heavy, but I feel like, yeah, if Winston was not on the Buccaneers and it was, say, a Ryan Tannehill situation, they had someone else. I feel like they're a 500 team. I feel like they're more competitive in the NFC South. I feel like they are competing for that second place spot with the at this time.
Say that one more
But
time because you were cutting out a bit.
I think they are a 500 team if they have anybody but Winston or just a better quarterback than Winston. One that's not making these mistakes, and I think they are they're in the NFC South race a lot deeper than what it is right now, which is between just the Panthers and the Saints.
Yeah.
They're at least close to where the Panthers are at, if anything else, at this time if they don't have Winston. But their passing defense is just holding them back dramatically, even if they had a better quarterback.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. Um, anything you want to say, Dan?
It's just upsetting.
For the Cardinals, or yeah, I would imagine since they lost. Yeah.
For both teams. I thought the Cardinals were gonna pull it off.
Yeah, same.
They pretty much get fucked at the end. Um, then again, I like to root for the Buccaneers just because I like their method of playing. It's not the method to win, but it's pretty damn entertaining.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a shame on both ends. You know, the defense for the Cardinals, I want to say has been showing up recently. They've been doing a better job from the beginning. I think for what the Cardinals have right now and for who they're facing coming up, I can see them being maybe, I don't know, maybe like 5 wins, 6 wins at most. I
Mhm.
mean, they're facing a little bit more competitive, tougher competition. So it's
Yeah,
upsetting to
definitely.
see them in that position, especially since the Cardinals they have Kyle Murray, who I think is actually doing a pretty good job this
He
season.
is. He really is.
For
Like a lot of optimism to look forward to with Arizona. Like even if Arizona finishes below 500 this season, they're still looking good. I mean, you might have
I feel
Fitzgerald retire, unfortunately, but they could have something. Coming
a
forward.
a 6 to 8 win season for the Cardinals in a rebuild year. That's a good rebuild year,
Definitely.
yeah,
considering they were just bottom dogs last year.
Yeah, I mean, part of it was also the coaching too, but
Yeah.
I'm good to move on if you guys are, because it's getting close to 8 o'clock, so we might want to pick this up a little bit possibly.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Lions Bears. So Bears won by a touchdown 2013. However, Stafford is out. Driscoll
Mm-hmm.
went 27 for 46, 269 yards and
He
one
didn't do that
touchdown,
bad
one
of a job.
interception.
He didn't really do that bad of a job.
No, but when you don't have Stafford, because
That's
they're letting
imme-
him throw deep this season, it changes your game plan a bit.
that's immediately why when I saw that I was like, Andrew, please let me change my pick.
Yeah, which fair point, and I guess we can put an asterisk for the Lions this week too, since Stafford is currently day to day.
It,
Because I think that is really a deciding factor for the Lions is Stafford playing or not.
oh, it is absolutely dependent on if
Did you guys
Stafford's
see,
playing.
did you guys see how
Stafford,
Trubisky did?
what?
I was gonna say, did you guys see how Trubisky did?
Did he pass left at all?
He went
No, no, he
16
didn't play
for
awful. I
23.
mean, it was 16 for 23, a good completion percentage, 173 yards for 3 touchdowns. Not bad at all.
It's just crazy to see that.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna say, Matt?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Trubisky's still a problem for Chicago. That was a good game for Trubisky. It, it came against a backup quarterback. I'm sorry. The Bears should have won this game. The Lions are not the most amazing team without Stafford. Correction. The Lions are a bad team without Stafford. The Lions are a slightly below good team with Stafford.
Bears should pick up Cam Newton. I'm saying it right now.
I agree.
I
Pick
don't
him
know.
up.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about Newton.
Pick
But
him
so
up.
here's the deal.
Pick him up. Put him
Looking
down.
at the standings right now, the Bears are now in third place in the NFC North.
They can't pick up Cam Newton this season anyway, unless the Panthers cut.
And
Um,
even then, I don't know why you would. I mean, you're 4-5 right now, going into week
Yeah,
11.
but
The
going into next season, I feel like definitely a change of quarterback is needed, and I feel like Cam Newton would actually be a really good change of pace for the Bears.
Yeah, and then if they don't get rid of Trubisky this season, next season is when Trubisky's on the cutting block.
I would
That's
just, I guarantee you, someone would take him if you try to trade him. You're not going to get your 2 first rounders back, but
who would take him?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati's actually. I was thinking Cincinnati. Um, it'd be funny if he ended up in Miami.
See, I don't know. Maybe because here's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like Rosen has gotten dealt a really bad hand.
I agree.
I think that if they could develop him properly, which they might be, he's working under Fitzmagic,
So that means he's going to become a 4 game winning quarterback and then just absolutely fall apart and
and
get
have
paid
one
fat
hell of a beard.
contracts
You know it.
and get fat contracts for his 4 game performances.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a sweet life.
I'm trying to think of other teams. I think the Giants are invested in Jones.
They are.
Yes. 100%.
The Jets are an interesting one.
They're gonna. I think they'll
Oh, they're
stick with
not gonna give up
Darnold.
on Darnold.
I think they'll stay. We can talk about that.
Uh,
We can wait for this for later if we want to.
Yeah,
But
we'll wait for it later. But let's move on to the next game because
yeah, Dolphins Colts. What the hell is going on with
surprised.
Indianapolis? I know it's
I'm fucking
because
surprised.
Hoyer, the
Brian
destroyer, for
Hoyer.
destroying the Dolphins tank was in, but Hoyer made
Brian
some
Hoyer.
awful passes.
It's literally Brian Hoyer that is killing the Colts right now. And every Colts fan is saying that.
He had
And
like
then
3
Vinatieri also
interceptions.
missed a few kicks, didn't he?
His days are behind him. He needs to hang his cleats up and
Yep.
they
You're gonna have Brissett and Vinny kind of chilling by the river, sitting on a log. You're gonna have Vinny
yeah.
talking about how nice it'd be to tend some rabbits right now, and Brissett's gonna be talking about that too, and just put one right in the back of his skull, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Really wasn't like it's a surprising game, but it really wasn't a fun game to watch. To be honest.
I can't believe, like, even then, it. Here's the thing with the Colts, like, they've had a lot of very close games this season. I know they beat the Chiefs, but at the same
Still 5 or
time,
4.
yeah, but I feel like the
Brissett,
Colts are a little worse than their record, honestly. It's,
but
I think every single one of their games, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, every single one of their games has been one possession, and I think a couple of those they should have lost, although they probably should have won this one. So maybe it balances out in that regard, but it's not looking good going forward for them.
I feel like the Colts would have beat the Steelers and would have beat the Dolphins if Brissett was playing the full game.
Yeah. However, I don't know if I don't know. They did beat the Broncos, but that's I don't know. I don't know where I'm really going with this right now. I guess it's neither here nor there. Yes,
Uh,
having Brissett out and having Hoyer in certainly does hurt them. But at the
it
same time,
does.
too, Vinatieri couldn't get that kickoff against the Steelers, and if he missed a kick or two against the Dolphins, that's the game right there.
But to Vinatieri's defense, that was not his fault. That was the long snapper. Number two,
That's right, because it was he kicked into the laces. Fair point, and also in the
yep.
holder.
Number two, if Hoyer doesn't throw a pick in the end zone, the game is over. The Colts would have had more points.
Yeah. Or if he no, because Hoyer threw short. Like from my understanding, he was overthrowing everything, and at the very end of the game, he was underthrowing everything.
Yeah.
Just not good. Just not good.
No, it's absolutely Hoyer that's holding back the Colts right now. Because the Colts, in my opinion, the Colts should win the AFC South. They're the more of the AFC South teams. I feel like they're the most complete. They have a good O line. They have a solid D line. It's been ravaged by injuries, but they've got depth. And their cornerback play it's subpar, but it's probably one of the better ones in this AFC South. And they have weapons on offense. I don't know. The Colts, I feel like, are where they're at because they are supposed to be there. But if Brissett's playing, I don't know. I feel like they're better. I feel like they're the AFC South champion team.
They should be 6-3 if Brissett was playing.
Yeah.
Well, technically 7-2. Technically.
No, that's right. Yeah, 7-2.
I mean,
I still think Houston's a bit of a better team, in my opinion.
Houston's lost J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Whitney Merciless. Really, don't get me wrong. Merciless is a really good defensive end, but their cornerback play is sketchy. And the reason why they've been winning is because Watson has been making some ridiculous plays.
Which sometimes you got to be clutch to do. Watson has made some phenomenal plays. Like that one where he should have been down, but he had that leg strength to keep him up and then threw for a touchdown.
He got kicked in the face and threw a touchdown.
Yeah, he couldn't see out of one of his eyes, could he?
No, he couldn't. The thing, like I said, but the Colts, just the way they've been playing football, they were playing a type of football that travels very well, especially coming up into December and into January. Trench battles, so I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. The thing with the Colts is, you can yell at me for this if you want, but they do play in a dome. They're not used to, certain types of weather that other teams that play outdoors do, which I think can ultimately hurt them in the playoffs if they have to go play on the road.
It's a retractable roof.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that in a playoff game in the middle of. If the weather conditions are bad, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do it for the sake of conditioning their players during the game.
No, you're right. I agree with that.
But yeah, I'm going to step away for a moment. If you guys want to start talking about Packers and Panthers, please go ahead. That one came down to the wire as well. I will be right back.
Yeah, that was Packers and Panthers was a really, really good game. The thing was,
did it really come to the wires though?
Yeah, it did. It really did. The Panthers were literally near the goal line when the game ended. They were another play away from getting a touchdown.
Yeah, but that's like, what if kind of stuff. I mean,
they were right there. That ain't a what if. That's with Christian McCaffrey, that's literally a touchdown. They just ran out of time.
The thing though with that game was I don't really think CMC was really himself that game compared to all these other games. Something was a little off in my opinion. It really looked like the Panthers were going more for just throwing the ball, looking for more of their receivers in this game.
What do you mean McCaffrey wasn't himself?
He only averaged 5.4 per yard. I mean,
per rush? That's a phenomenal stat line.
For CMC, should have been like 10. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. I did think though that Allen actually did have a better game than Rodgers.
I mean,
my opinion. That's a true opinion right there.
I'm trying to remember what Allen did. I mean, to an extent, Allen played. Allen did what he could. Um, I mean, it was snowing in Green Bay, so it's hard for players that aren't used to that type of environment to really do really good work there. So for the conditions he was in and everything, Allen did all right.
Yeah. What'd you think about Aaron Jones' performance?
Uh, j- Aaron Jones had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah.
13
That
carries
he
for
was.
93 yards rushing.
He is definitely the go-to for Aaron Rodgers, hands down. The go-to.
Well, he is the running back, so I would hope that he was getting a lot more touches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now that Devonte Adams
Well,
is
he had.
back,
I think he had the
Adams
same
went
amount
off
of
7
touches as
reception or sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say. I think he had the same amount of touches as Williams, didn't he? Jamal
Um,
Williams.
No, Jamal
uh,
Williams did not touch the ball at all that game. Devonte
he had
Adams
no.
7.
Jamal Williams had 13
Oh
carries.
no, he did have 13 carries. My bad. Um, sorry, I was looking at the receiving. My bad. No, Devonte Adams went off though. 7
Yeah,
receptions for 118 yards. His
Mhm.
absence, yeah, he was missed.
but I would argue that the offense for the Packers looked.
It was different.
It didn't look as good as it has been
It was
without
different, and
Devonte Adams.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well,
it
here's the
looked it
thing.
looked a lot different.
They're not utilizing Jones in that passing game anymore. It seemed because he didn't really get any. Oh no, I'm not seeing targets here.
There
So
was nowhere near as it just wasn't spread. Like Aaron Rodgers was spreading the ball out a lot more. It was very heavy on just Devonte Adams when they did pass. They didn't need to pass nearly as much because Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams did their job. But I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers has what I call Drew Brees to Jimmy Graham syndrome, where he sees Devonte Adams and wants to feed him the ball. Which Devonte Adams, while a really good wide receiver, that hurts.
yeah, but at the same time, it worked this week. You know, they got a big win. Now, granted, that win came down to the wire, where the Panthers were trying to push it into the end zone at the very end, but they stopped
They just
McCaffrey
ran out of
somehow.
time. They
Yeah,
just ran out of time.
but I mean, you can't blame them at the same time for being like on what was it, like the 2 yard line and still handing it off to what's his name, McCaffrey. You can't blame them at all for that. You know.
No, you can't. It's a move that makes sense.
Yeah. But still, you know, the Panthers hung around with the Packers, which I think is a good thing for them. It's something good to take away from this. Now, granted, the win in Lambeau would have been much better, but yeah,
I mean, like I told Dan, to Kyle Allen's defense, it was snowing. It's hard if you're not used to those conditions. It's hard to win.
that is a very good point.
But yeah, that's all I got for this game. We can move on.
Cool. Rams Steelers.
How the
Uh,
mighty Rams have fallen.
well, I mean, you know, Todd Gurley has like the same knees that my grandma does. Without arthritis, he needs to get that CBD stat, which
It's
will
not
probably,
legal in
well,
the NFL.
it'll come up probably with the CBA, I imagine. Um,
Probably.
And I don't know. There, you know what? There probably is some way to make a test that's like, oh yeah, you do have CBDs in your body, but I don't know. It'd be hard to test for. But I don't know
Right.
if you can hop them up on opioids and painkillers, like I said this before, if police officers can use CBD without any repercussions at all, I think NFL players should be able to too.
I agree. I think we are going off a topic with that though.
Yes. However, Jared Goff, 22 for 41, 243 yards, 2 interceptions. The one Rams touchdown came off of a turnover on the first play of the game, I believe.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I can't. I don't know.
The Rams have lost their edge. They lost their formula because Gurley, like you said, has the knees of your 82-year-old grandma.
Yeah,
And
and I think also at the same time, teams have kind of figured out Goff to a degree. I mean,
He,
if he can't read defenses
Mhm.
without McVay in his ear, that's a huge problem. And I
Yep,
know
and they
I feel
just gave
bad for pushing a meme, but if the meme is true, you know,
exactly. And the Rams have just paid him 32 million a year for 5 years.
they're screwed.
They just really, and they don't have a first round pick till 2023.
Yeah, they're screwed.
They've put themselves in a position where they signed all these big names, and now they have to start paying them. And oh no, we have no cap. They can
That
move
the
on from.
last year was their year. That was it.
Yep, it was because they went boom and bust, boom or bust in the offseason, and they busted, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Super Bowl hangover has occurred. I think you're right. Teams have figured out Goff. Goff is not that great of a quarterback. He is a product of Sean McVay exactly telling him what to do.
Mhm.
We saw what he was capable of without a competent coach. He just, I don't know. Yeah. The Rams have put themselves in a very big hole. Also, though, on the plus side, the Steelers have a defense.
Yeah, they were able to show up, and the Steelers got the win. That's huge. They're 5-4. They're only
They're
two. They're only 2 games behind the Ravens.
they're in the wild card technically right now.
Hold on, I had the NFL playoff picture pulled up. They
If
are. They
this
are the sixth seed. Yep, we can talk about that later. We'll go into
th-
that later if you like.
that is wild.
But I'm gonna list off the remaining Steelers games. At the Browns tomorrow night. Home again, or they're at the Bengals week after that. Home against the Browns. On the road at the Cardinals. Uh, Home against the Bills. On the road against the Steelers. Final game of the season. They're on the road against the Ravens, which that will be a very interesting one to see depending on how the
Depends
Ravens
on the status.
offense. Yeah, it really does. But the Steelers could fuck around and find themselves back in the playoffs without Roethlisberger, which, you know what? If that's the case, credit to Mike Tomlin.
The coach of the year considerations.
Uh, I don't know. I,
You
I,
lose
I
your Hall of Fame quarterback for a season. You play with not just one backup quarterback, but two backup quarterbacks.
that's a
What,
good point.
three actually?
Duck Hodges didn't go down. Mason
That's
Rudolph went
true.
down and Big Ben went down.
Yeah.
But Duck was able to play a couple games. And then they make the playoffs. I'm sorry. I feel like you kind of have to. Sorry. Okay, is that just me? Okay, cool. All right.
No, sorry. I had like so that sandwich I was griping about earlier because it had salami in it. Yes, I'm not a huge fan of salami. It's actually
Fell on the
it's
laptop.
real no, it's really good. I had that sandwich in my mouth.
Wait, guys, can we please talk about the Vikings, please?
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the Vikings.
7-3.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Kirk Cousins showed up. He
They
showed up.
should be.
Cousins not only showed up, but this offense is good to watch. This offense is really good to watch.
Yeah, and
It's
when they eventually
entertaining,
get sorry, go ahead, keep going, my bad.
entertaining, and efficient
Yeah,
for
and then
sure.
as soon as they get Thielen back too, the offense is gonna get a lot better. Dalvin Cook just going off.
Yeah, that Rudolph, I believe, right? Was it Rudolph with 2 touchdowns?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't make a whole lot of dent in the offense, but shit, I'll tell you what, 2 touchdowns off of what, 14 or 15 receiving yards.
I mean, hey, roll with it.
They were both throws in the end zone.
Yeah, he was the go-to guy in both situations. So, but I mean, dude, it just sucks because like you could consider Dak to be MVP running this year.
No.
Can you not?
Not really, no. Dak's not a
No.
bad
No,
quarterback, but I
no.
would not
Let me
consider
ask
him
you a question.
MVP.
Would you consider Lamar Jackson MVP running?
No.
He's gotten some talk, but I wouldn't. I don't know. He's playing very
Dak
well. Depends on
has
the rest of the
better
season turns
numbers.
out. I can understand
Dak,
Russell Wilson. I can understand
That's
Christian McCaffrey, but those are the only two for me
those
right
are
now.
the only two right now for me too.
You should put Dak up there. He should be at least talked about over Lamar Jackson.
I disagree.
Yeah, I wouldn't go I wouldn't go that far either. Now, don't get me wrong, Dak Prescott had a pretty decent. He had a good game. Let's be honest. 28 for
Yeah,
46,
he had one interception, but
397 yards for 3 touchdowns. That's not bad by any means.
No,
I mean, he's
not
doing
Now,
doing
that one interception was a Hail Mary, by the way. That was the one.
okay.
And honestly, if that was not an interception and a Cowboys receiver came down with it, people would be talking about how Kirk Cousins did not win the big game. I don't know if I would put this on either one of the quarterbacks really.
No. The reason why the Dallas Cowboys lost was because of play calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was
It was coaching.
why when the pass has been working, would you get to the what was it like a minute on the clock in the fourth quarter and run it with Zeke on third down?
Because YOLO.
That's literally what I guess Kellen Moore did. Just was like,
You pay him all the big bucks. You got to use them. Pressure.
no,
He's like, fuck it, we're gonna run double slants here on the 2.
no. You play to win. Screw the money. You play to win.
You
Your
play
pass
to
is
win
working.
the game.
Exactly. The pass is working. Xavier Rhodes has looked like complete crap this year, by the way. You have Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and Jason Witten,
And Dak
and you
Prescott.
run it.
Yeah.
And you have Dak Prescott. And you fucking run it. I mean, I think I had the Vikings winning this game anyways, just because of the momentum they've been having, to be honest. That's my personal. I think momentum is a huge factor in football.
It is.
But I don't think the Dallas Cowboys should be 5-4. I think with better coaching, they should be 7-2.
I think they're an 8-8 team because of their coaching. I feel like they're a
They're
10
gonna end 8-8.
So you got the Eagles winning the division then.
Yes, I think the Eagles right now, because of coaching, look better than the fucking Cowboys.
Because we're
Well,
saying
Cowboys have better players.
The NFC East is such a crapshoot. If there was any division where a 9-7 team, 8 team could sneak in, it would be the
NFC East. Sorry, you cut out a little bit there.
The NFC East, I said.
Yeah. Did I say AFC East for real?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Oh Jesus
down,
Christ!
So you are saying the Patriots go 8-8?
Hey,
Oh,
Patriots are
that's
gonna
a
go
spicy
8-8.
take.
The Dolphins are gonna go 9-7. They're gonna go win the fucking Super Bowl. First team ever to play a Super Bowl on their home turf and win.
Spicy. I love it.
Well, how about this? How about let's move on because it's already 8:15.
Yeah.
Let's
Game
talk
of the week.
about
Game of the week. Game of the year.
Game of the
Best
week.
game outside of a Patriots game I have seen since the Rams and the Chiefs played last year on Monday Night Football. That's what Monday Night Football should be, ladies and gentlemen. That's what primetime game should be. Holy shit. What a
I wanna ask
game.
you guys, and I'll give you each 15 seconds. So let's start with you, Andrew. Why did the 49ers lose?
Oh, that's a good question. Why did they lose? I really think it was just one of those things where, man, I don't know. Like, both teams showed up. They played very well. I think losing Kittle, and losing Sutton really hurt the 49ers,
A lot of damage
which
on the offense. Yeah.
yeah, which allowed the Seahawks defense to kind of step it up a bit. In addition, with the Seahawks, you had Josh Gordon show up, who had 2 very good catches at crucial points in the game. But the problem was, if we're going to talk overtime, it was because the 49ers did not do much after they had the ball punted to them late in overtime and immediately had a 3 and out.
Okay. Matt,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
You don't think Jimmy had a decent game? I think he had a decent game.
The game was too big for Jimmy, especially in overtime. He looked like a deer caught in he looked like a deer in headlights in OT. Are you kidding me?
What is his fourth year? Third, fourth year?
I don't know. Andrew, when was Jimmy G drafted by the Patriots?
I want to say
4 years ago.
2013. No, because that game,
I mean actual
the
playing.
whole, the whole on to Cincinnati thing, that was back in 2014. So he's been in the league for about 5, 6 years now. I don't remember when he was actually drafted, but
And he has
I do know he started that, like, he replaced Brady in that game against the Chiefs where they were getting destroyed.
okay. So
So he's
since
been in the league for a
2014,
minute.
he's been in the league, and he sat behind Tom Brady for 3 seasons.
Yeah, because
Ish?
they traded him 2 seasons ago.
2017, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
And
what it sounds like to me.
then he joined in the late.
Before we go into this, I want to say my reason why they lost.
Oh yeah, go ahead, dude. You got the floor.
Rookie fucking kicker. That's all I want to say.
You
Okay,
know,
Matt, go on.
No.
not having gold did
No,
probably
dude,
hurt
fuck off.
the Chiefs. Wow, the
No,
49ers a
because
bit.
How do you
here's
do-
the thing.
how do you do
Here's the
first-
thing.
Oh my god.
Here's the thing. Kickers have been having issues all season, for one. Number two, he kicked the same exact field goal earlier in the game.
Made it. But when it came to the clutchest kick of his life, he fucking
It's-
missed.
And other kickers have been missing this year. I don't think
But-
gold would have made the difference. I think it's possible that he does make that difference, but there's still just as high of a chance that he missed.
It would have made a huge difference. The fucking Seahawks wouldn't have the position they would have had on the field. It would have been a tied game, if that. If the 49ers were pumped on having the lead in overtime.
No, they
would've
would
been
have
a
won the
huge-
game.
It would've been a different game.
Because of the interception,
It would have
and
been.
it went
game-
over back to San Francisco. It was literally whoever scores next wins. That would have been the 49ers game right there.
I can't blame the rookie kicker because he got them to overtime. After Garoppolo made countless mistakes, he had 5 interceptions dropped. 5.
Yeah. What do you expect? Pass interference, holding. What do you expect?
Dude, he
Rough
would have thrown
Seahawks defense.
7 interceptions on the day had it not been for
Look at-
Seahawks defenders
Think about this.
dropping the ball.
Think about this. Wait, I want you to think about this. What happened first quarter? 49ers showed up. You know,
And
they
then
did
they
pretty damn good.
didn't.
Second quarter. Wait, let me tell you. Second quarter, what happened? Seahawks, they got a touchdown. Is what it was. Let's into the second half now. What did the Seahawks do? They adjusted. What happened in the fourth quarter? The fucking 49ers adjusted to tie it. And then from there, what happened? The fucking kicker couldn't finish it off.
So
I think the
quick
49ers
rebuttal. I forget who had the ball and got stripped at the 2-yard line, but if he did not give that ball up and went, if
It was
Metcalf did not give up that ball and went into the
game
end zone
doesn't
for a
go into OT.
touchdown,
That was a
very
nasty-
different game.
That was a
Very
nasty
different game.
strip, though. You cannot lie.
Oh, that was a
That
beautiful strip, but
It
still,
that
it would have been a
reminded
very
me of the
different game.
strip that happened on Daniel Jones. That was a nasty ass strip. It was savage.
It was beautiful.
Super savage.
Yeah.
We could talk about this all day, but I don't want us to. It's already almost 8:30.
I know. I want to mention one thing real quick. It's only 8:21. I do want to mention one thing. Had Russell, like that pass that was picked off by Russell Wilson in the overtime, if that pass was a little higher, that probably would have been a touchdown.
It would have been.
Well, I mean,
This
you had the defender right on the goal line,
Coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's all I'm gonna
but the
say.
Seahawks still won. You
They
know.
did.
That was a wild game. I was having so much fun. It was so insane. Like, see, because personally, like, it's if my team is not playing in it, I'm rooting for overtime. I'm rooting for the most insane outcome as possible, especially with like the NHL playoffs. I love overtime playoff hockey. This was a very similar case where I was like, I hope the 49ers miss this kick just so it keeps going and we see what happens. And
So
that's
then
what
there's
happens.
me. Then there's me. Unless it's an AFC game, I am rooting for the team that would help my seeding for my team.
Yeah. However, this is also an interdivisional opponent.
No, I get that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Wilson, real quick, he traded jerseys with Sherman. Was that who he traded jerseys with?
I did not
Probably.
see that.
I don't pay attention to the stuff after the game. I'm sorry.
For the most
I
part,
don't
I usually don't, unless honestly, unless it's like some Patriots stuff or like If like there was like an outburst that makes it to like to the top of our NFL, but I did not see it honestly.
Okay.
It would make sense that Sherman, because him and Sherman are ex-teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Let's.
so
You
do
guys
we?
want your
Okay. Do we
prediction?
want to like talk general stuff? Maybe some playoffs right now.
Sure, we can talk playoffs.
Do you
Okay.
want to do it on the hot takes?
I don't really have any hot takes right now. I'm kind of like the season's going as it's going. I don't know. I guess my hot take right now is I don't think that the Ravens offense is sustainable with how they're currently playing football in regards to
I mean, that's fair.
options.
That's
That
fair.
and that's not even. I don't think that's really a hot take because that's what we saw last season.
Right.
You know. So I'm gonna go ahead and read off the standings here, just because I'm not gonna be able to fit this all inside the screen. So as of right now in the AFC, I'm gonna read this 1 through 6, and then I'll give the top 4 teams for the wild for the in the hunt. So I'm gonna read off 6 teams, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You got the Patriots at 8-1, Ravens at 7-2, Texans 6-3, Chiefs 6-4, Bills 6-3, Steelers 5-4, and then in the hunt you have the Raiders with 5-4, Colts 5-4, Texans 5-5, Jaguars 4-5. I think that the AFC South is the most interesting division in football right now.
It is. Only unless the Baltimore Ravens lose 2 more games, and the Steelers win 2 more. But yeah, it's
Unless
definitely
that
the
happens,
AFC
yes.
South.
But the thing with the AFC South is the worst team is the Jaguars at 4-5, and we didn't mention this. They get Big Dick Nick back.
In November.
In November, he is primed for a playoff push.
Yep.
What I was gonna say was that the most interesting would probably be the West for me.
The AFC or NFC or both.
AFC.
AFC.
AFC West
The
is also really interesting too.
Raiders and
Yeah,
Chiefs.
Raiders,
You have
Raiders
the
and
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah,
You have the Chiefs who aren't doing as hot as they were last season. You have the Raiders who are starting to get pieces put together. You have the Chargers who are also trying to get their pieces put together, and then you
they're
have the
4-6.
Broncos.
They're not gonna do anything. I don't think. Now, granted,
I
they're
mean, I
only
mean,
one
I
game,
mean,
but no, excuse me, they're 2 games technically behind the Raiders because the Raiders had a bye and the Chargers haven't yet. But I don't, I don't think that the Chiefs are gonna lose the division to the Raiders.
hey,
No.
I don't think
do
it
you want
will.
me to give you
That
a hot
defense
take
is a
right now?
liability. Hot take right here. Let's go, man.
I think with the way Carr is fucking playing and the way the Raiders are starting to fire up, I think the Raiders are going to be number 1 in the West, AFC West.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be the Raiders, then the Chiefs, and then if the fucking Chargers don't step their shit up, I think the Chargers might be dead last in the AFC West.
You're saying the Broncos finished third?
Broncos
The
are.
way that the Chargers
You know what?
are
Well,
acting right now,
we'll see what the Broncos do.
that's my
But then
hot take right
again,
now.
it's Elway running that team. You know.
Oh, that's just what I think right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get
obviously
you.
it's a hot take.
I can't see the Raiders doing that
Meant-
though.
It's meant to be outlandish. I mean, like, just look
I
at it.
gotcha.
The
So,
Raiders are
go ahead.
facing. Who are the Raiders are facing Bengals. I mean, come on. Facing the Jets. Come on. I mean, they're gonna face the Chiefs that are depleting right now, in my opinion. That'll be a good game. They're gonna face the Titans. I think the Titans will take that game. They're gonna face the Jags, which I think they could beat. They're gonna face the Chargers again, which they might lose, and then they're gonna face the Broncos, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna win. I think from here on out, they're probably gonna win at least 4 or 5 of the next games. And then if you look at the Chiefs, who are the Chiefs facing? They're going to be facing the Raiders. They're going to be facing the Patriots. They're going to face the Broncos. They're going to face the Bears and the Chargers. I mean, I personally think. I mean, they're facing the Chargers twice. I think the Chargers are going to take one of those games away from them. I think the Raiders are going to be able to beat the Chiefs. I think the Patriots are for sure going to beat the Chiefs.
I would
think the
agree with
Broncos are
that.
probably going to take an L. I think the Bears have a good chance on an upset against the
No.
Chiefs.
I don't. Well, hold on.
on.
Hold on. Let's hear Dan out here for a minute. That Chiefs defense is horrible. If Nagy pulls his head out of his ass and is able to give Montgomery the ball, something could happen. And here's one thing I want to mention with the Chiefs too that I did not yet. That's insane. Now, hear me out here real quick. I believe it was their right guard that they lost. They lost their starting right guard. They put the
Eric Fisher?
backup in. I think it was him, but they put the backup right guard in. He got injured too. So the Chiefs were playing with their third string right guard. You good, Dan?
Yeah, I hear you.
Not cool. I just heard some movement. I was like, "Are you okay? You good?" But the thing with the Chiefs is, I was looking. I remember like last season because Mahomes was playing very, very well. I was like, okay, what is the common theme with all the interceptions he's throwing? And I saw a lot of the interceptions where he was throwing. It resulted in, well, like the cause of it, I guess, was you had the edges collapsing, where Mahomes had to move up in the pocket, and he kind of panicked and would throw, but he would not make a great throw. He's losing a guard, and I don't know if he's improved on that or not this season. I might have to go back and look at some more film, but losing a guard, that's if you have the same theme as last season with this, that is not good for Mahomes at all. And on top of it, he dislocated his knee. He probably has like a little bit of a mental block because he wasn't really scrambling all that much like he normally did before his
He still has a
injury.
tweaked ankle too.
There is that too, which is a big issue for the Chiefs. So if
But
teams can exploit that, they might be able to slow down the Chiefs' offense a little. Now, granted, they have to be able to compete in shootouts as well, but
I
against
was
the
about to
Chiefs'
say,
defense, you could do that, you know?
not with Trubisky.
Fair point.
Do you think Trubisky's ready for a shootout with Mahomes?
I would not say so. No.
Okay,
That's why
because
I said
even
let's
though
kind of hear him out a little. Let's entertain the idea.
I
We'll
can't,
see. Tell you what, because here's the deal: the 1, 2, 3, the Broncos and Chiefs play a month from now. There's a lot of football still to happen in that month.
I
Let's
agree.
see what happens. That's kind of how
Of
I
course,
am
of
right
course.
now. Now, if the Chiefs manage to lose, I think they're going to lose against the Patriots just because it's Belichick. It's the Patriots.
In
They're
New
deep
England or
in
in
New
Kansas
England.
City?
No, they're in New
It is in
England.
New England.
Yeah,
But Andy Reid plays the Patriots so well.
their defense is worse than last season, which was awful. I really think that, with N'Keal Harry coming back, or not coming back, he's in part of the offense now. Sanu looked pretty good, against the Ravens, even though it was a loss. And then plus, the Patriots are going to have Isaiah Wynn back by the time that they play the Chiefs. Huge for the O-line.
How much
Huge, huge,
football has
huge
he
for the
played?
O-line.
How much football has Isaiah Wynn played?
Not a ton, but he's better than, oh God, we have a horrible left because he's going to take left tackle, I believe, and the guy playing left tackle right now, he dead ass steps out of the way of D lineman running at him.
Damn, you from New York? You said that ass.
Nah. But you know what I mean? It's going to be a big upgrade
Um,
for the Patriots regardless, and plus we have Skarnacki, who's one of the best offensive line coaches in the league, where he'll be able to get him back in shape, and even with being on the IR, it's when he's eligible to come back that they're saying, from my understanding. I imagine he's been doing some workouts and staying in shape to the best he can. It's the Patriots.
was
Right.
my was my comment out that outlandish or not really?
We were talking about it a little. It's a matter of Trubisky's going to be able to show up or not. I think Montgomery would be able to show up with the running game, but we'll see how the passing game is. Because here's the thing. The Colts were able to go out. They ran the clock off against the Chiefs. And that's kind of how you beat the Chiefs to a degree, by keeping that offense off the field. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there. I'm going to go ahead and read the NFC playoff picture because we did the AFC. Now, here's how crazy top-heavy the NFC is, except
So
for
many
one
seven
team.
win teams.
Now, here's this one team. I did not see this until now, but it's crazy. This one team would not even be in the playoffs if they were in the AFC with their record.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could say, well, it's a different schedule. Of course, yeah, obviously. However, given their record, 49ers, number 1, 8-1. Packers, 8-2. Third seed, you have the Saints at 7-2. Cowboys, 5-4 with that fourth seed.
Did you mention the
Seahawks.
Seahawks?
Yep, Seahawks 5th, 8-2. Vikings 6th, 7th, and 3. If playoffs started today, you have a rematch of last season between the Seahawks and the Cowboys. And then you also have a rematch of
Saints
2 years
Vikings.
ago with the Minneapolis Miracle. Diggs, sideline, touchdown. Sorry, Matt, I had to
Can
do it.
it's fine.
Vikings and
You know what's
Saints.
crazy?
So this is interesting. It's so top heavy, and then going down teams that are in the hunt. You have the Rams 5-4, Eagles 5-4, Panthers 5-4, Bears 4-5.
You know what's crazy?
What?
The Chiefs in the NFC wouldn't be shit.
Huh?
Maybe come playoffs.
If the playoffs
Maybe
were to
come
start right
playoffs.
now, if they were to start right now, they wouldn't be shit.
Why?
I 100% believe the 49ers would beat the Chiefs. I believe 100% the Seahawks would beat the Chiefs. I 100% believe the Packers would be their probably best bet to win against, but I believe the Packers would beat them. I believe the Saints 100% would beat them. I think if they were to go up against any of these guys, they would lose.
Now, here's the interesting thing you mentioned with the Chiefs is that there's a really interesting, like, excuse me, I had to burp right there. It's like the yin and the yang with the Chiefs and the Bills, who, if the playoffs started today, they would be playing each other. Excuse me. The Chiefs, phenomenal offense, piss poor defense. Bills, piss
I
poor
think they would beat
offense,
the Bills,
good
though.
defense. That would be a good game to
I think
watch. I would give it to the Chiefs, though.
I still think, yeah, because to a certain extent, to a very fine certain extent, you do need offense. You, as much as your defense might be almighty and gracious, you still need some offense. And I don't think the Bills are there yet with their offense.
With Josh Allen, no. Now, if they can figure out a way to incorporate their running game, well, here's
I
the
mean,
thing:
what the
you got Gore against the Chiefs. That would be
Exactly.
huge. That would get them in it. Maybe set up some stuff for Allen. But the thing is, Allen has to make smart throws. I really feel. But let's here's the thing. Let's talk. Is there anything really to talk with NFC? You guys think? I think the biggest thing right now is the NFC East between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Where interestingly enough, it's I think week 16 and week 16 in Philadelphia, the Cowboys and the Eagles will play each other. The NFC East might come down to that right then and there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably will.
which could be the game of the week. Hopefully they flex it if they're not flexing it.
Actually, Dallas is 4-0 in the division right now.
What's Philly? 3-1?
1-1.
Okay, so they played the Redskins to start the season, right?
And they played Dallas and got their butts handed
They got
to them.
destroyed by Dallas, yeah. So we'll see
They
how it
still have a
is,
Giants,
late.
Redskins, and a Dallas.
I
They still have
do-
4 division.
Yeah.
So I actually do have a hot take. I do have a hot take right now. I do.
Yeah, let's
You
get
guys
on
wanna hear
to picks in a minute here. But yeah, what's your hot take, man?
I think the Vikings are going to be the best in the North. Quote me on
Interesting.
that. I think the 49ers are still going to be number one in the West, even though the Seahawks are a very tough opponent. And I think the Eagles will be number one in the East.
I like that the NFC South stayed the same.
Yes, I don't see anything changing unless the Falcons somehow found a holy grail and found that lucky genie and wished on winning every game from here on out.
The
Which I don't.
Saints would also have to just absolutely collapse.
Oh no,
It's
they got Drew Brees back. They're gonna be
it's
they're gonna be pretty good.
possible, but I doubt.
The
Comeback
craziest
deal?
thing,
Saints still have 2 games against the Panthers, by the way.
I was gonna say
Which
their
could
only
be the
competition
difference,
in
maybe.
the South is the Panthers.
Yeah.
craziest thing. I was gonna say the craziest thing is that the Saints actually score almost the same amount as the Falcons for the season so far, but they've allowed a lot of less points to their opponents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What I was gonna say
So
is what I was gonna say though is the Saints can wrap up the division in 4 weeks.
Yeah. They could.
If we
They
if
have
we
to
win
they have
out
to beat the
against-
Panthers though.
If we beat the Panthers, the Buccaneers, and the Falcons in these next 3 games, we won the NFC South.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Very good observation there. Are you guys
Which
ready
is
for
kinda
picks? You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yes.
get these picks. Dan, are you there? I see you muted yourself.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, cool. All right, well, let me go ahead and get this down. All right,
And this
cool.
week I see myself going at least 80% correct.
Dan, we're done with the hot take selection here.
Ouch.
I'm just messing with you, man. Okay. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I got Pittsburgh.
At Cleveland.
You said at Cleveland?
It is at Cleveland.
Give me the Steelers.
Okay. Let me just check one thing real quick. Okay, cool. So next we have the Jets at the Redskins. Another phenomenal tank bowl. I cannot wait to see how Urinating Tree covers this. But yeah, another tank bowl.
Jets.
Who you got, Dan?
Jets. Got the Jets.
Jets? Okay. Sorry, you were cutting out a little. Who you got, Matt?
Jets or Redskins? I want to check something real quick. You first, Andrew.
Oh man. You know what? I think that the Jets have a bit more talent. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
I am trying to check a thing real quick.
I just think the Jets defense is what's gonna at least let them win by the slim margin that I think they're gonna win by against the
Yeah.
Redskins.
I'm curious as to what the spread is on that game.
You know, I'm gonna pick the Redskins. And everyone went silent. Okay.
I got food in my mouth again. Bear with me here.
Okay. It's fine.
Right,
Yeah,
Jags-
I'm gonna go. I think Dwayne Haskins has a really good game.
Maybe.
Jags and Colts? Maybe we'll talk about that one.
Yep, Jacksonville at Indianapolis.
I'm going with the Jags, guys. I'm going with the fucking Jags.
Is Brissett back?
Can we make this one an asterisk too?
I don't
Sure.
think he's gonna be back. Oh no, he was a full participant in Wednesday's practice. All right, I'm going with the Colts.
That doesn't mean anything though. Those usually are walkthroughs.
I don't know. It says he will start Sunday, bearing a setback.
Bearing
That
a
was-
setback.
Okay, if that's the
Okay, Colts. Changed my mind.
Nick Foles'
So-
first game back.
So, Dan, you're going with Indianapolis now?
Yes, don't quote me on the Jags. I was hyped. I thought Brissett was not going to play. You guys told me I should double check that. And yeah.
Who you got, Matt?
Give me Nick Foles to have a good game from his return.
Okay. Me personally, I'm going to go with Big Dick Nick. I'm going to take Jacksonville here. Now, here's an interesting one. Another rematch of Buffalo at Miami.
This is going to be a hard one because
Give me the Bills.
Okay.
it shouldn't be hard, but I just feel like Miami's been holding back.
See, here's the thing with Miami
Trying to
right now. I don't think it's a tank at all. I think what's going on is maybe they wanted to sell themselves as losers early to get the draft picks, and they got a fuck ton of draft picks early this season. Now
They
everyone's playing for their jobs now. Everyone is playing. The coaches are playing for their jobs. The players are playing for their jobs, and they want to show, hey, when you guys draft that talent next year, I want to be here. I want to be part of it. That's what they're. I think that's what they're showing right now.
There's
going
motivation.
I'm going Dolphins. I think Bills had a hot start, but I think the Dolphins are now going to finish hot
Yeah.
in a sense. I think the Dolphins are going to take this one. I think it's going to be one of those upset games.
Oh man. You know
I'm
what?
thinking
Just to keep it quick, I want to say Buffalo, but my gut is saying Miami for whatever reason.
So the one week I don't pick Miami.
All
Everyone
right.
else does.
Dallas at Detroit, Stafford. I'll put an asterisk next to this one if we want.
Yeah, please.
I'm picking Dallas. Whether Stafford starts or not, I'm picking Cowboys.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys as well. That might change if Stafford starts. Who you got, Matt?
I'm also going to take Dallas, also subject to change if Stafford starts.
Dope. Houston at Baltimore.
This one's
That's going to be
hard.
a great game.
It is. That's probably the
This
game
is
of the week right here.
Texans have, in my opinion, a good defense against running. Fuck it, give me the Ravens still.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are probably going to ride another hot one here, especially with J.J. Watt being
They
out.
utilize
I'm
they
going to take
utilize
Baltimore.
Andrews. They utilize Andrews so fucking well. I
Hmm.
mean, uh, I'm gonna have to go with that.
Texans secondary is just not good enough. Even if Lamar got shut down in the run game, they could still pass on the Texans. So give me the Ravens.
Okay. Atlanta at Carolina. I'm going to do Carolina again for another week.
Um, give me um. Oh wow, Austin Hooper and Freeman and Matt Ryan are out Wednesday. Give me Carolina.
Matt?
Matt Ryan's sitting out probably as a precaution because he still does have his injury. That being
That's a fair
said,
point.
that being said, I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Okay, I see that the Falcons are giving you some PTSD. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. I would not be surprised if this one was a shootout to a degree. However, I'm going to go with New Orleans.
I'm gonna go with my boys in black and gold.
Wait, wait,
Dan,
wait, 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 wait. Let's go Falcons.
you want the Falcons?
Yeah, give me
What?
for the last game. For the last game, give me the Falcons.
Okay, that's fine. I'll take the win against you guys. I'll take a game on you guys. That's fine.
Give me the Falcons. This game, give me the Saints.
Okay. Denver at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I
Minnesota.
I got the Vikings. I think Minnesota is playing very good football right now.
Not be fucking stopped.
Cook is very good. They're playing in Minnesota, by the way. They're not playing at Mile High, which I think makes a difference.
It does. But the Vikings secondary, but
Their front seven's good.
it's Brandon Allen,
The only reason
Cortland
Elway drafts
Sutton.
quarterbacks is because they're tall, not because they're good.
Brandon Allen had a really good first game against the Browns.
Fair. That's right, they did like destroy them.
Yeah, through the air.
It's in my-
Man, my it's kind of like your Dolphins thing. My gut says Broncos, but my head says Vikings.
You want Denver?
Give me Vikings.
Nope, I'm going with the Vikings. I don't
Oh,
want to be
that
that
hurt.
bold.
That hurts. I had like my fingers over DEN, but I will give you MIN. Who you got, Dan?
Just he said Minnesota.
He said Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah, I said Minnesota.
Okay. Arizona at San Francisco in San Francisco on a Sunday. I got San Francisco.
Give me San Fran.
Who you got, Dan?
It sucks because I really want to say the Cardinals, but
I'd love it if the Cardinals won.
Oh, same.
Gabe.
That'd be fun.
give me the 49ers.
See,
would
I say
love
it's
it.
I say it's fun, Matt. You're like, ooh, give me that first round seed, baby.
Heck, bro, I am NFC focus. Screw the AFC right now. NFC first.
Yeah, I get you.
Um,
I get you. Okay.
Patriots and Eagles.
Yeah, New England at Philadelphia. You guys go first. You guys go first.
I think Wentz is gonna. He's not gonna have a good game at all. So I'm gonna go with the Pats. They coming off a bye week.
So are the
Um,
Eagles though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good thing for the Patriots to come off a bye week. It's a bad.
Oh,
thing.
yes, it is a good thing for the Patriots to come off a bye.
It's a bad thing for Philly to come off a bye week.
I disagree. However,
It's in Philly.
it is in Philly.
Yeah, but in Philly, Patriots are a New England team. I mean, I'm 90% sure the stadium's gonna be 50-50 in fans.
Hell no. Fuck no.
No.
You do not go into
Philadelphia
Philadelphia
is
as opposing
devoted.
fan. Oh my god, you're asking to
Wow.
fucking die.
If they're wearing Patriots jerseys, they're inside out.
Yeah, it's oh god no. Even if I were going to this game, I would actually like legit buy Philly Eagles gear. I would if I were going to this game. I fucking would.
Did you just root for Brady? No, I said no, no good, no, no.
I was cheering because it was another check down. It clearly shows that he's a system quarterback that can't throw deep.
There you go. Yeah, you don't do that.
Hell no.
That's
Who you
like
got, Matt? Who you got?
I'm asking all these questions, but my can I see this being an? Can I see the Patriots losing twice in a row? That's the question.
They're not the Cowboys. They're not gonna lose 2-3 in a row.
They lost 2 in a row last season
They did.
for the first time in a very long time.
Damn it.
Do you
Give me
want
New
another
England.
minute? Do you want me to like
Give me
make
New
my?
England.
You
Give
got
me
New England. Okay. I am gonna go with New England. I think that the fact that they got slapped in the face by Baltimore. They were punched in the mouth. They were knocked off cloud nine. That defense was, and knowing that organization, their culture, they are resilient by nature, and I think they're gonna come back stronger. I think Belichick tore everyone a new fucking asshole
I'm telling you, Wentz
Monday
is gonna have a
morning when they
shitty-ass
came
game.
back. Oh, not even that. But it's just the way the organization is. They're gonna say, hey, you know what? We lost. We're gonna learn from this. I'm gonna tell you guys a new one while we do it. But we're on to Philadelphia. We got N'Keal Harry now. Sanu is getting more familiar with the offense. I feel like it's looking good for the Patriots. You know, Michelle was able to rest. Burkhead was able to rest. Um, Lacoste and Izzo, the tight ends, were able to rest a bit. Edelman too. Brady a bit. You know, I'm liking how the Patriots are this week. They're coming
Fanboying
off of a
crazy right
bye.
now.
They got Belichick. I think it's looking good
You're
for
a
the
fanboy.
Patriots. I'm what?
So the thing,
I'm what?
the thing.
No, what'd you say,
You go.
Dan? Say that again, Dan. Say it again.
I was just saying you're fanboying like crazy
Oh.
right there.
I,
I
I
thought I
guess
called
I
you
guess
boring.
I guess a little bit, but
The thing that was kind of throwing me off and why I was stuttering on that one is because I expect Philly to come at the Patriots hard on the ground game with Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders
yeah.
because I think the Patriots do have a weakness against the run.
Which is fair. It has been shown a little this season.
And if you can open up that run game, you can get some passes off on that New England defense. You just have to create those
That
matchups.
New
And
England
Zach
secondary is so good though.
get Zach Ertz on a tight end or get Zach Ertz on a linebacker,
Yeah. Fair point.
like they did with Mark Andrews.
I mean, here's the thing:
But adjustments
If the
can be made.
Patriots decide to start running nickel or dime packages, you know,
Uh,
that could prove to be an issue.
and that's the thing. Belichick is he's Belichick. That's
He
why
takes away the best thing you do and forces your second, third, and fourth guys to step up, and sometimes they can't.
and the second and fourth their second best option is the run game because all right. I'm
You,
still sticking with New England, but that's why I was
okay,
stammering on it.
I get you. Cincinnati at Oakland. I got Oakland.
Oakland.
Duh, Raiders.
Cool. When Dan said Oakland, I put it in for you, Matt, but that's okay. Bears at Rams. This is an interesting
Rams.
one.
It's at Rams?
It is in LA, so expect
Goff can't
30% to be rooting
defense.
for Chicago, maybe 40%.
Give me the Bears. And I said another thing which caused everyone to go away.
Oh no. I'm
No,
I'm thinking
I don't
here.
think that's a bad. No, I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I just have more confidence in the Rams.
Again, it goes back to that whole
Oh,
meme where Goff can't read a defense.
And Nagy doesn't know how to run the ball, and Trubisky can't throw left. Oh man,
Don't forget.
this is like the
Don't
game
forget.
of memes right here. And it's
The
probably
meme
gonna have a
game.
It's gonna have a better ending than
Oh
Game
my
of
god, if
Thrones.
they can get Bortles in there.
This next game,
Yes.
this next game, the last game, Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
We'll get there in a second. I have to pick this
Hey,
You
you're-
do.
because
yeah.
I could see either team winning this. I'm gonna go for the coin toss. Let me just get a good quarter. There we go.
Well, wait, let me ask you this. If you had your coin, what would you call heads right now?
Oh, that's a good point. I would say Heads, Rams,
For home.
tails,
Then you're saying the
Bears.
Rams are going to win.
Let's see if it lands heads.
Well, no, that's the one you want.
No, it landed heads. Yeah. Okay, we'll go Rams. Sure.
9 out of 10 times in those things, when you pick whatever you pick for heads is the one you want the most.
That's a good. Typically, the thing I've heard too is like, if like you flip it and you're secretly hoping for something, ignore how the coin toss is and just go with that.
Yep.
You know. But anywho, Chiefs at Chargers. I'm gonna go ahead and take Kansas City on this one.
I'm also taking Kansas City.
And I am taking the Chargers.
Damn.
Interesting.
Damn. Well, here are the picks.
And like I said, I'll be 80% right this week, guys. I think
Well, there's 15
Breakout.
games. Let's see here real quick.
I'm gonna get like what, 12 right?
Yeah, you're gonna get 12 games. So which 3 are you gonna get wrong?
Good possibility I'm gonna get wrong is the Chief and Chargers. The second one I'm probably gonna get wrong, which is iffy for all of it. Like the Jets and Redskins, that one's gonna be iffy, and obviously the Bills and Dolphins is gonna be iffy.
I'm
So.
surprised you did not say Falcons Panthers. To be honest,
No,
they're playing
I
in
did not.
Carolina, guys. You guys realize that, right?
I'm fine with that. I'm.
I heard
sticking
Matt
with my
gasp.
gut, really.
Actually, so
Oh what?
continue, Dan. Continue.
No, I was just gonna say. I was gonna say some things about specific games for specific players. But what are you gonna say, Matt?
What I was gonna say is right now Atlanta is in that playing for their jobs mode and playing for their coach mode. I think the Panthers are coming off of I wouldn't say demoralizing, but not the best loss that they've had this season against the Packers. I mean, you lose on the 2-yard line. That kind of sucks, you know.
I think.
And the Falcons are coming in with a swagger in their step. That's why I see Atlanta coming in actually and winning in Carolina.
I can see Atlanta slowing down CMC 100%. And I see Julio Jones. This is one of my hot takes. I see Julio Jones getting 2 touchdowns that game. I think he's going to break his streak with 2 touchdowns that game. Guarantee it. I see Michael Thomas with 3 touchdowns against
Michael
the
Thomas
Buccaneers.
is not playing. Against the Buccaneers. You changed subjects on me.
All right, I was telling you players. I see him getting 3 touchdowns against the Buccaneers. I see Cook getting at least 2 touchdowns against the Broncos. And I see Wentz throwing under 190 yards. 3 interceptions. I'm going to be confident. He's going to throw 3 interceptions against the Patriots. And
I would love 3 interceptions against the Patriots. Both me and my
see
fantasy team.
Hunter Henry against the Chiefs.
Me too.
Touchdowns. That's my hot take. Quote me on that.
I mean, it will be quoted on YouTube.
Yeah, we've been quoted for a lot of things tonight, but I'm good, boys.
What
If
did
you
I
are, I'm good
did I
because
say?
we've
I'm
hit
good.
an hour and 40 minutes. But go ahead, Dan. You have something?
Said Melvin Gordon was going to get 2 touchdowns at least against the Packers. And what did he do? He got 2 touchdowns against the Packers.
He did.
A broken clock gets it right twice a day. I'm just saying.
That was the only
Oh,
hot
man.
take I took that whole week, though. Just remember that.
Fair point. Alrighty, well, if we're good, I am Drew.
I am Matt.
And I'm Dan the Man.
Alright, it was fun hanging with you guys this week and talking football. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave some comments. I guess the obligatory like, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and please leave some comments, some feedback. If you have any comments regarding the sports ball, excuse me. Any hot
Sports ball.
takes, we can look into talking about those too.
If you subscribe, I will shave my whole head.
He actually won't.
That's
I
right.
will also not do that.
I will not do that either.
Every subscriber will contribute to 1 follicle coming off this big, beautiful head of mine.
Alrighty. With that, take it easy, guys. Have a good week.